So we are looking at the purpose of the study. So we are, for the purpose of the study, we say that you need to explain the topic in an ordinary man's language. Yeah, you are just repeating what the topic is, but in a more profound manner. So for instance, if you are looking at this topic, we are looking at human development practices, employee performance, and employee competence in University of Cape. Now, when we were crafting the research topic, we said that one of the criteria or one of the characteristics of a good research topic is that you must not preempt the results, okay, or you must not let us know the end result of the study, okay. So, but in the purpose of the study, if one of the intervening variables is a mediating variable, you are free to bring it. So, for instance, the employee performance is a mediating. The employee competence is playing a mediating relationship between the employee performance and the human development practice. So that prohibition cannot be put here or cannot be executed here. We are saying that you need to preempt the result.
You have to learn.
Okay, I'm not sure there is nothing to preempt about your topic. That's why I need it. So if it's about NGO and their impact on women empowerment being mediated by community support, okay, so you can talk about, you can explain it this way. The study seeks to examine the impact of NGOs on women empowerment, considering the mediating role of community involvement or community support.
So the community will be the mediating
factor. Okay. So with the purpose of the study, you just have to explain what the research topic is. In some cases, some people will just repeat it. The study sought to examine this and this. The study sought to do this and this.
So in my case, the study is about
evaluating.
Yeah, it's evaluating the role of the Hunger projects in empowering grassroots women.
So that is
with the community playing and being.
So your study, the purpose of your study is sound. So the study purposefully evaluated.
The study
purposefully evaluated. The study purposefully evaluated the role of the hunger project. So you write the
Hunger project in
women empowerment.
In empowering women at the grassroots.
At the grassroots
women. Grassroots women. With community support playing a mediating role.
Okay, so the purpose of the study depends on which topic that you are trying to explore. So the whole topic is the purpose of the study, but there are several segregations that you can bring that can be categorized into the objectives of the study. So under the purpose, we have the individual objectives. Okay, so you can look at it like this. To achieve the overall purpose of the study, the following specific objectives were perceived or will be perceived.
To achieve the
overall purpose of the study. So we are now going to the research objectives. So, and this is the way to introduce it. So research objectives. To achieve the overall purpose of the study, the following research objectives were perceived. The following research objectives were perceived.
The following specific objectives
were perceived.
We have another word for specific.
You can say the following objectives were the following. That's enough. Each other. The following objectives were perceived. So let's look at the different types of objectives. Okay. Types of objectives. The first type of objectives is what we call the state of affairs objective. State of affairs state of affairs types of objectives. State of affairs types of objectives. Now, this type of objective, we are looking at the current happening around the field of study. Okay, so one of the objectives as so in the topic that you are trying to explore, you can look at the states of women empowerment in Ghana.
Current happenings of
Around the variables of study. That is the state of affairs. So it examines, or that objective is set around the current happenings around the variable. So for instance, you can look at one, to assess or to evaluate the state of women empowerment. To assess the state of women empowerment. To assess the state of women empowerment. Which study area are you in? Which study area? In the Eastern region. But you should be specific about the town that oh, you're not sure of that.
I will get to know it.
So that is the state of affairs.
Evaluate the state of women empowerment. The annual projects of
Yes. So you can also set objectives around that. Now, in using objective or in setting objective, there are certain action words that we use. Okay. Yeah, you see words like evaluate, assess, examine, explore, analyze. These are all action words that we use at state that when you are developing your research objectives. We have example skills, evaluate, assess, examine, explore, analyze. It depends on the objective that you want. Analyze, examine. So the first one is state of affairs. So you want to look at the current trend of events around that particular variable. Then number 2, relationship. It can be relationship or relational objective, or an objective looking at relationship between variables, relationship between the variables. So NGO supports women empowerment, community support, community support. Community support. So the objectives can also show relationship between the variables. Okay, so let's look at it. So now basically the objectives should be around this variable. So you can get an objective from here. This is the formula. This is very important. People who have conceptual framework and they will be setting different objectives.
They don't understand.
They don't understand. Your objectives should hover around your framework.
Right.
So you can get an objective from here. You can get another objective from here. You can get another objective from here. These are hypotheses. We also look at them. Okay. So apart from the state of affairs objective, all the other objectives can be altered from your conceptual framework. Having known that all your objectives can be set around the conceptual framework, you can now proceed. Have you got it now?
God, I bless.
Yes. This is why So many people.
So apart from the state of affairs,
all the other objectives should be centered here. Because this is what you're talking about. Every theory, there should be a theory here too. If you are getting a theory 1, theory 2, theory 3. They should also be there. There should be a theory talking about government.
If maybe my variables, I have the intervening variable.
Yeah.
So this is part of the mediating and the
Intervening variable.
If I have moderating variable, that one I will not set any objective from.
You can set it.
Or the controlling
You
variable.
can also set it. Because you want to test them and see how their effects and test their effect on the relationship between or among the variables. Okay. Yeah. So every objective you are setting should be based on the conceptual framework. Outside it, you are just making noise.
So the conceptual framework is not just a drawing.
No. It's
Drawing some square
in fact
that
when
you don't even understand.
yeah, in fact when you go to your project defense, that is what you'll be talking about. All the other ones, they are just write-ups, but the conceptual framework is the graphical representation of everything that you're trying to communicate by your findings. So it's very, very important. So, in looking at the objective that is based on relationship, you can look at the study. So we have to assess, or like to maybe I think to evaluate the state of affairs of women empowerment in the Eastern region. So you can also look at to examine the relationship between NGO supports
For the the next objective.
Yeah, that is relationship between the variables.
Okay, so we are talking of the predictive
relationship. Yes.
Number 2, objective. That's objective 2. The relationship
between
to really evaluate,
to examine the relationship between NGO support and women empowerment. You don't worry, you won't finish your topic, we will dissect it for you. Okay, don't worry at all. I'm just using this as a template for the presentation. NGO and women empowerment. Then you can also look at the mediating relationship. So how do you set
the
an objective
relationship between
NGO and then
community support?
So write it or it's to examine or to assess. Yes. To assess the negative effects. Let's look at the impact first. So let's leave the negative effects now. So another thing is that you can look at impacts or influence. Impact or influence. Impact or influence objectives. Impact or influence relationship or objectives. Impact and influence objectives. So you can look at to assess the impact of community supports. Assess the impact of community supports in women empowerment. You can get a lot from here. Okay, a lot of them are influencing each other or one another, I should say. A lot of them are influencing one another. So you said something for me, but that one you not write it.
So I said the impact of community support on women empowerment.
They look at the framework. So when you pick somebody's framework, okay, this is the way you can challenge somebody's soul. If you pick the framework, go to the objectives, okay, and look at it and see now this framework that is.
So even after going through this, I can assess people's things.
Oh yeah. But even now, you can see that is like even here, this impact. That is why we are saying that don't say the impact of employee, the impact of motivation on employee performance. Why? Your research objectives are not only impact based. You are in doing that research. You'll be looking at state of affairs. You'll be looking at the relationship between. But if you are only in your topic, you are telling us impact of motivation on employee performance. It's just a microcosm of the market. One aspect. Are you getting it now? Somebody said yes. So you don't have to preempt the topic or preempt the outcome of the study.
So impact is just one.
It's just one.
What
This
we look at the conceptual framework.
Yes. So you yourself give me some objectives here that are impact based or that are influence based. No, a lot of them are influencing.
NGO impacting on community support.
Yes. Because if they don't come, the community has nothing.
Also offer. So they must respect the community.
So NGOs, they impact communities. Even NGO, they can, like they also impact, so they also influence.
Good evening. But I sell nice stuff, so t-shirts, summer tops, nice t-shirts, shorts, long sleeves.
You who can
Like I'm
say we
saying,
did
one
one
selection. See,
who can say we did one.
oh,
I don't go close now, so you do want me to come.
is it
I don't go close now, so you do want me to come.
short? So later,
Close your eyes and kill it.
So we have a lot of impact or influence that can be gotten from this book. Are you getting it now?
To examine the impact of NGO on community support.
after it. And when you are doing the discussion too, it is based on this one. So everything is around it. So it's like you are peeling an onion. So from one aspect to the other, from one aspect to the other. Even when you want to run the analysis, okay, which one do you have to use in descriptive? Which one do you have to use correlation? Which one do you have to use like maybe regression? And why? I see some people, state of affairs, they want to use regression or correlation. It is wrong.
They don't understand.
They don't understand. So
this
you
one,
tell
when
me,
a lecturer or anybody asks you why did you use this,
you can't
then you explain.
If you know it, then you explain. One guy, I met one guy in the library, he was asking me, this work, don't I think just using descriptive is too limited for master's degree? I said, no, go back to the objective and check. If the objectives, like most of them look like state of affairs, then you, like, it is not wrong that the person use that analytical to analyze it. But if you are looking at state of affairs and because you want to look more complex because you're reading like master's work, and that is why you want to use regression, it means you're wrong. Okay? Yes. So you have to take note of that. Let's look at intervening based objectives. Intervening based objectives. Based on objectives. Intervening based objectives. So we know that we have three major intervening variables: mediating, moderators, and then control variables. Alright, so you have to come back to your conceptual framework. Am I considering any intervening variable? If yes, how do I craft an objective to see that particular intervening variable? Okay, so right, if we are looking at community support as a mediating variable, you write it this way: to assess the mediating effects.
Looking at community support.
To assess the mediating effect of community support.
Alright. I'm looking at community support as a mediating effect.
Yeah, mediating variable. So you write it this way: to assess the mediating effect.
To assess the
Mediating effect. To assess the mediating effect. Of to assess the mediating effect of community
S is attached. Or one
effect.
effect of community
Support. In the relationship. In the relationship between, then you mention your dependent and your independent between to assess the mediating effect of community support in the relationship between, then you mention the independent variable and the dependent variable, or the two that it is linked,
mediating to
effect of NGO and
that is moderating.
which one?
This is the top one is mediating.
This one is mediating, this is moderating.
Moderating, yeah, but your hands was
No, so to assess the mediating effect of NGO of community supports in the relationship between NGO and women empowerment. how would you have crafted it? It's the same thing, but it's just that now you have to change the way.
Isn't the down one mediating?
Yes. And I'm asking now if it were to be moderate, if we were to have a moderate.
That one is to assess the moderating effects of
Which moderator can we use?
NGO.
No, I mean, which moderator can we use here?
We use education the other time.
So level of education. So to assess the moderating effect of level of education in the relationship between NGO and level.
The moderating of the level of education.
And can we be doing it as you drink? So that when you finish, you just run. I'll run away at 6:30. Before 6:30, you have to run. So
Level of education and what?
to assess the moderating effect in the relationship between to assess the moderating effect of
Level of
education in the relationship between NGOs and women empowerment. It's just the same, but you just have to understand what you're doing.
between NGO. So this, to be specific, the Hunger Project and what? Women empowerment. And I want to find out if talking about the NGO, I can write them. Though we have types of it, define NGOs, bring the types, their rules, everything.
That is also important. So, what do you capture in your literature review? Okay, people just make a lot of noise just because they say literature review. So they just want to bring them. When you know this, you know, and I mean, I tell people that research is not difficult if you know what to do.
Even from this.
Yes. So in literature, like literature review is just into 3 major parts or 4. The first one is what you call basic, and you start with your theoretical review. And you know the theories between here, here, here. So you go straight. You pick one of them, the central team. Okay, who propounded the years of propounding the modifications or the metamorphosis that theory has gone through, and its implication on your topic of choice. If not the topic, its implication of this relationship and why the choice for that theory to back it. You are, and then you continue to another theory. So if the theory you're using are just two, you do that, you just make sure you write it extensively because of your field. You write extensively, then you come here which theory support this and this. You talk about it. The propounder, later development, its implication, what the choice.
So that sorry, you read it fully, know when it came,
Yes.
how the changes that have
It
happened.
has gone through. Its applicability in this context. And if you have any criticism, you can critique it. And it's very important. You critique it. Okay? You can critique the theory. Alright? When you get there, we show you. Then you do that. Then you come to conceptual review. Conceptual review. No, of the variables.
Okay.
Now, this we call them concepts. You remember? Concept. So when you go, you talk about
Variables.
NGOs. Okay? NGOs, what they are, their
I
responsibilities.
think that is what I said earlier. That is where I will write it.
Yes.
The conceptual
Review. You talk about all of these things, their relationships, okay, how they influence, backed by empirical evidence with good citations. Their relationship, how other researchers see it, okay, and then you just establish the relationship, and then you go. Don't go with, there are things pertaining to these NGOs, their definition, their explanation, their importance, okay, their relevance to society, and their relationship between the other variables. Then you pick communities in support, the definition, explanation, their relationship between these other works that were done by other people, and then you critique it. On what basis do you critique them? Some of them were done without considering some other dimensions, and that is why your research will be based on this. Some were done using different methodologies for analyzing the data, okay, and that is why you think it's not supposed to be like that, and that is why you want to carry out the research. You do all of that for the conceptual review. Then when you come to what we call conceptual framework, you come and draw this, okay, conceptual framework. Then you draw this one, explain them a little. That portion is not too much. Conceptual framework, you draw it, you explain the relationship between the variables. Community support influences mediated by this. The reason is that you know them now. Okay. If NGOs are supported by community, we expect that the women will be empowered. But that is independent on the level of you just have to talk in brief the relationship between them. Now when you finish, you go to what you call empirical review. So we have 4 main aspects. If you know them, we need to pick them and I'm gone. The empirical review, what other researches have done in similar manner concerning this topic. They are fine.
Review,
Conceptual review, conceptual framework,
and empirical review.
but that's chapter 2. You are not there, so you don't use. So the empirical review, what other researchers have done, what their findings are, and then what they've recommended, and your criticisms. This one you do quite a number of them, okay, because of the demand. So quite a number of them. Then we continue. So this is all about chapter 3, but chapter 2 it should be voluminous for doctoral works. Okay, and you know when you pick a work, you go straight, you copy an aspect, you paraphrase, you place it. I will teach you how to do anything. So, yeah, another intervening based. I think we wrote on that intervening based objectives. Then test of difference. Test of difference. Test of difference. Test of different based objectives.
So, when what question would they ask me? And when they ask me, what are your objectives? Is it possible they will ask me, how did you set your objectives? Yes, I think they will ask me.
And even
Then I will tell them, I believe some of the lectures if they don't know.
yes.
They don't know, I'll tell them, well, I set my objective based on this one.
So when they ask you to come out, how did you get the objectives for the study? To display the highest level of maturity. If you are using a PowerPoint for the
I will use PowerPoint.
then quickly draw back your conceptual framework. Then you say that okay, you are assessing the relationship between this and this. Then for the intermediate variable, you are looking at the mediating effects of this. What is it? They know what you
on
on community support.
Then I said that the way I will job this
You
people.
carry them because you know what you're talking about. Not
That thing I've envisaged it the day from the even before I not come here, I told God that God, I want to learn this. So that when I stand to present, I know that I am not an undergrad.
yes.
And it is not master, it is PhD. I want them to nod their head. Because you have said in your word that you give me a mouth and a wisdom that my enemies cannot resist.
That's
So
that's true.
they will not, they will stand up.
So test of difference. This one is for comparative analysis.
Also part of the objective. So if you are not set doing comparative analysis, you don't set
You don't set test of difference. What are
It's
test of difference?
under for.
So test of difference.
Intervening base objectives,
Then
test of difference. They will take me as a lecturer by force. Become
test of difference.
That one is for comparative analysis.
Yes. And usually for scientific. Don't write scientific. Well, we have some comparative. For comparative analysis. So take for instance, you want to see how affects the impact of technology on students. Okay, so first you test them without technology, then you test them after technology, then you analyze the two results. So test of difference.
So when you want to examine the impact of technology,
No, when you want to test the effect of technology
okay, when
on
you
student performance, for instance, or for instance,
I'll let you know. When you want to
test
the effect of technology
before and after.
Before and after. So you test them without technology, you test them after.
The reason why I'll say for scientific research is that we do control and test experiments.
Control
And test experiments. For control experiments, we don't
what's
expose
in the
them.
name? When you want to control, it's like they explain something to us. Yes, but when you like people who are sick, I've forgotten the name. You give the real medicine to one, and you give the fake medicine, something that is not medicine. What's the name for that? I've forgotten.
You have test experiments.
But that is, and the control is. So the control is without anything.
Yes, we are trying to control the effects.
I've forgotten the name, but I can get it. So that is test of difference.
Test of difference. Okay, so quickly, we don't have time, so let's go to research questions.
In fact,
When you come, we will take you through it. So don't worry. And I know you are learning. Okay. Yeah. So let's. But there is still more to come. So research questions. And the research question is not different from the research objectives. The only difference is that you turn the objectives into interrogation. That's all.
not different
from the research objectives. You are only required to change the research objectives interrogatory statement. You only required to change them into interrogatory statements. I see a lot of researchers. People write objectives nicely, and when you look at their research question, you'll be wondering,
what
are you doing? So look at this. What's the first objective? To assess the human resource development practices act and the best of people. Then when you come, what are the human resource development practices and the best of people? That's all. You're just asking a question. Research question. Then number 2. To explore the factors affecting.
So research questions are the same as the research objective.
Just that.
Yes, and that one we question.
We question it. So I want you to give me the research question for number 2.
To assess
To explore.
to explore the factors affecting employee performance in the University of Cape.
So
What are the factors affecting employee performance?
So to examine the impact of human resource development practices on employee performance at the university. So can you give me the research question?
What is the impact of human resource
You don't have to worry yourself.
you just have to add what?
That's all. Then to assess the mediating effects. If you don't want to bring what to establish some level of dynamics, you can say, is there any impact Okay, yeah, maybe the what maybe so much. So is there any impact of human resource development practices on employee performance and the rest of the So it's not anything. Number 4, to assess the mediating effect of employee competence in the relationship between HRD practices and employee performance.
Just the third.
Yes. So what is the mediating effect of this, or is there the mediating effect of this, or does employee or does community support mediate the relationship between NGO and women empowerment? That's all. You are done with your research question. Okay, so once you set the objective for the research questions, then you don't have to. Then research questions, okay, we are done with that. So significance of the study. This one we have to talk about. Okay. Yeah, when I finish, I will give you this work.
So when
I'll give you this work, then you write the research of your research objectives and your research questions and the significance. The other ones you do it and then you send them to me. Okay? Yeah. I want you to challenge yourself. Let me have a look. Okay? Yeah. I know it's very interesting.
If you write it yourself, if you are going to, if anywhere you are, you don't need to look into a book.
Yes, you don't need to.
Or even if you look into a book, like you will just glance through, then speak to the points.
Okay. I'm a meeting at 6:30.
I check.
Yeah, we have a self meeting.
So how many? Well, where are we now? From here, where are we?
Let's look at the significance of the study.
Then we can close.
Yes. I don't know if I'm lost now. What significance? The research, my question, you have to leave space for it so that when you come. The space down there was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said I will learn. I said I've written more explanation. It means I will look for example. I want to get the control and test experiment. I will put the sample of. I know that the pains me now for
Oh, I can't.
something effects. Name of what's what is using control group? I think that.
In an experiment, data from experimental groups compare data from control. The two groups should be identical in every respect except one. The difference between control and experimental the independent variable is changed from its theoretical variable, but it's held constant in the control.
By the independent variable.
Yes. So further explanation. The control group and experimental group are compared against each other in experiment. The only difference between the group is held constant. So that is what I was trying to explain to you. Okay, that in the control group, what we do is that if it is about, let's say, in scientific research, okay, if we want to test the effect of cigarette smoking on human beings, okay, how do I explain this?
I have something like that. Let me read.
Okay, you will have to rush, so let's do the significance of the study. Okay, I will read around it. Okay, I have the concept, but the way to explain it is not. Significance of the study. So these are the benefits that the study would. If not, tomorrow after church you can call.
This one.
Okay, Auntie.
Like we can come up.
No, this one I can do it online.
Are you using that?
We can just, and it's not anything.
Or not be
I'll
able
take.
can do what how to do that, how to give you that, and what to do that. But so we just go here. By the hour, you have to keep the level.